Back again with my English video series. So, this video is inspired by a video which I saw recently on a channel by the name of Aptitude India. I done a podcast with back, I think last year. Anyhow, so he was talking about some fundamental messages which really clicked with me about how one can become really successful in life versus when one is average, what difference does he or she has. It was very interesting. So, just wanted to give some insights, and I also just wanted to think through some things. So, firstly, I think a lot of us are just caught in a web of overthinking. And by overthinking here, I mean a lot of anxiety, fear about certain situations being going wrong. Let's say any situation not working in a way that I want it to be. So, due to all of this thinking, all of this rumination, what happens eventually is we lose that touch of action that we have in our life. Whereas a person who just acts, you see that that person has been getting a lot of success. So, there's a very beautiful example which he mentioned, which I would also like to mention, is you might have seen that a lot of quote unquote not so educated people are doing so well in businesses and things like that in our country. Why is that the case? I'm not propagating that one must remain uneducated. The idea is that they are taking a lot of action on the ground and then getting a lot of instant feedback from it, which is helping them iterate their actions. Whereas a lot of people who are, let's say, quote unquote, educated just keep on thinking if I do X, what will happen by X, Y, Z. So you see, one has a lot of risk taking appetite, and the other has a lot of thinking appetite. Nothing wrong with their approach, but the thing is that I think life rewards people who just act regardless of the circumstances, situations, and a lot of other things. So, just having this attitude that, okay, what are some next actionable steps that I would take in the next 24 hours? Maybe just having a pen and paper or a diary of sorts, and then just writing it and trying to achieve those specific goals in the next 24 hours is probably what would help you set apart. The thing is, I just made a video on my YouTube channel that, let's say, your 40-year-old self sees the current you. Would he be happy about you seeing your state of affairs, or would he give you a kick, slap on your cheek or behind your A or whatnot? But anyhow, coming back to this video. So I think just honoring the commitments that you have with yourself is very important, and the sooner you shift into this mode of just acting on a lot of things, life becomes very easy. Now in one more video I talked about that how one must take responsibility for each and everything that is been happening to our lives. I think that's the core tenet for any great person, that instead of blaming situations, he or she just went forward with this sense of purpose that I would want to change things. I'm so done with my suffering, pain, and whatnot. And then eventually, when one goes into the world with this identity that no matter how it is, I will change my situations, automatically one starts taking actions, one starts seeing certain opportunities that the common man just misses, and that is what makes all the difference in the end. So whenever you feel like giving up, probably just having this perspective that, okay, maybe I can just give up 24 to 48 hours later, but right now I must not prioritize my emotions, how my mood feels in general, and then just get on this with this work. I'll have a lot of time to ruminate. Let's say take out an evening chunk of 15 to 20 minutes. I can ruminate the world in that specific time. But now when I'm doing this specific act, let's say going to gym, doing this specific XYZ work, then I'll just focus fully on this work instead of just drifting here and there. So I think a couple of these tenets really help. And thirdly, just forgiving a lot of hurt or trauma that people might have given to you in your life, because it's like a coal which you're carrying in your hand. A lot of pain, hurt, and trauma is usually self inflicted because you're unable to just move forward. I think a strong man just works. He does not holds onto a lot of grudges, pain. Now, I'm not telling you to be an a-hole and just keep on forgiving and forgetting and then just letting people take advantage of you. No, it's just that not having that attitude of having things within your heart that hurt you, carry them for the rest of your life. It's prudent to just drop them. And whenever those situations or emotions would crop up later, then you can just take care of them. So I really like anime, and there's this one anime, One Punch Man, wherein the protagonist is a bald man like me, and he says that I leave the future problems to future me. I think that's a very powerful insight, because a lot of time is just spent on thinking, okay, how would my future self deal with, let's say, this XYZ situation that may happen, may not happen. But the idea is that if you're not taking action, any which ways, if that situation comes, you would be incapable of dealing with that. Let's say if you take a little bit of action right now, in this minute, maybe you might be better equipped into dealing with those situations. But the more you go into your thinking mode, the more it is easier for your mind to just trap you in your comforts. And after like being into a lot of yoga, studying a lot of, let's say, quote unquote spiritual texts, let's take a very common example. All of us are products of our grandfathers, a lot of genes that are coming from way past. So evolutionary speaking, we come from the chimpanzees tribe. We have a lot of conditioning in our body which has a proclivity towards making us more into animals. So the process of becoming a human is how courageously you can challenge yourself, and courage is genuinely needed to live a very fulfilled and holistic life. Courage to speak for truth, speak for your own sense of justice, because it's only the courageous people, if you read history, change a lot of things. Strategic courage, not idiotic courage. So I can talk a lot about these videos, but yeah, just wanted to kick things off with a very small video. I have some amazing podcasts for you as well lined up. But anyhow, you let me know what you feel about this small video in effort. You can also check out the video on Aptitude India. That's a brilliant video. I think sir had just recently uploaded it. But anyhow, that's a small video. You let me know what you feel about this video, and I'll catch you in the next video. So anyhow, you stay awesome. This is Debu Ki Dastak from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers. Bye.